In today's episode, we are going to be talking with Mike Ryan with NBC Sports, who was at the apex of success as the trainer for both the Jacksonville Jaguars for 20 years and assistant trainer with the New York Giants for 6 years. People would have said that you can't become more successful than that. Well, we're going to show you Mike actually did, and we're going to show you how he did that today.
At Initiative One, we're igniting a leadership revolution by helping organizations eliminate the drama, improve decision-making, and win as a team. Join Dr. Fred Johnson on the Leadership Initiative podcast as we uncover insights to maximize your impact and transform your life.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Fred Johnson, founder of Initiative One. You are here today joining us for the Leadership Initiative. It's our monthly podcast that we have. We bring in great leaders from all over the country, and today is no exception. I want to introduce to you my friend. In fact, we're such good friends that I bought his house in Florida, and you moved across the street, and we're going to spend a lot of years together. But I'm
excited about that.
I'd love to introduce to you Mike Ryan. Mike is with NBC Sports. He's a sports injury analyst. How do I say that?
Sports medicine analyst.
Sports medicine analyst. You'll see him sometimes on NFL Sunday night football, Thursday night football. If you ever hear Chris Collinsworth talking about a certain injury, he actually isn't that smart. Mike's talking into his ear. You've seen the blue tent around the NFL? Well, let me tell you, it's because of this guy. He's the former trainer for 20 years of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 6 years the head trainer of the New York Giants. He knows as much as anybody in the world about sports injuries. And one day, the Packers are playing, Mike's walking on the sideline, they saw him and they recognized, oh my gosh, Mike knows as much about this injury as anybody, and he might tell the world through Chris Collinsworth. And by golly, the next game, this blue tent started coming up. And thank you for creating that so that we can't see what's going on. And it's all your fault, Mike.
Well, I'd hate to say it, but I used to love watching the injuries because obviously I did it for so long on the sideline. And my cohort's still great friends with a lot of the NFL athletic trainers and doctors. And they just like to keep stuff a little quiet now. And they know watchful eyes are watching. So kudos to them.
Mike, it's good to have you. I met Mike about 13 years ago when I had been asked to come in mid-season to help clean up a toxic locker room. And I had this opportunity to meet Mike one day on the sidelines of the practice field, and we became fast friends.
Absolutely.
And you were looking at making some changes. There are some of you that are watching this that are contemplating maybe you want to try something that you feel that there's more for your life than your present situation is offering. And what do you do when you're the head trainer of an NFL team and there's only 32 of you in the entire world, and there are thousands of people that would give anything, who are qualified to have your job. And yet, something inside of you says, I want more. Walk us through that journey. And what would you say to someone that is critical when you're wanting to take a risk? Because it was risky for you.
Absolutely.
What would you say to someone who's contemplating a major change that they want greater impact in their life, but they're scared to death to do it? Walk us through. What would you tell us?
Well, to kind of go back to my situation, I was a head athletic trainer and physical therapist with the Jaguars for 20 years. Again, the NFL was the most successful sports league in the world. So there's only 32 of these very, very prominent positions with a lot of very, very qualified people to do it. Well, I was in a position in my life where, number one, first and foremost, I wanted more time with my family. I had a young daughter from a previous marriage I hadn't spent a lot of time with because I'm working literally 7 days a week. And I had two young kids. As you know, my wife, Samantha, a great wife and young kids. And I'm like, it was at the point I wanted to spend more time. I wanted that better life, family, work balance. That was really important. And the other part is I just had this urge for more challenges. I take on a lot of challenges with the kind of races I do and extreme sports stuff that I do.
You've run an Ironman 6 different times?
6 times, yeah.
And at least 100 marathons?
Well, 100 different types of races.
Okay.
And, but also extreme sports. I've cage dive with great white sharks in South Africa, bungee jump in New Zealand, wing walking. So I like extreme sports. I like challenges.
You're just a calm, kind of play it safe kind of person.
Very much so. Yeah, kind of stay in my happy zone. But to go back to the question is, so I seek out challenges and I like challenges. But this was at a point of better family life, work balance. That was first and foremost. But the other part is I wanted some new challenges. I love the NFL job. I love what I did. The Jaguars took great care of me, as did the New York Giants before. And one little correction, I was the assistant athletic trainer, physical therapist.
Sorry,
thank you. My mentor, Ronnie Barnes, who's phenomenal guy and still with the Giants.
Okay.
So I don't want to obviously step on his toes. But I wanted some more challenges of something different to do. And although I liked and loved taking care of NFL players, I'm like, I want to start sharing these sports medicine, health, wellness tips that we do for professional elite athletes and share with the general population. So that challenge of doing that on a bigger scale and getting into the sports broadcasting from a injury perspective, because think about it, when you look at games, NFL games, they have ex-coaches, ex-players, ex-referees, ex-general managers, but there's no ex-NFL medical people that really know what we do. So that was another challenge, I thought, and there was no openings. Nobody's ever done this before. So to kind of take that challenge, take that leap, and I think the big thing to kind of take home point I'd say to your viewers is you got to trust yourself. And if you look at it and say, what's the worst thing that could happen? It's not that bad. And the reality is that never happens anyway. So
you were willing to bet on yourself.
Absolutely. If you're not going to bet on yourself,
yeah.
What else do you have? And I think that I was young enough. I was 50 years old at the time. And I'm like, why not take a challenge? And worst case scenario, I'm still a physical therapist. I can open a clinic, which I did, and make good money as a physical therapist. I trusted my public speaking skills and also this broadcasting. And you may not remember this part, but about 2 weeks after I retired from the Jaguars, you and Tracy invited me up, and we're in your office going over kind of a new game plan and coming up with this, my mission statement, all the things there.
Yes.
And the phone rang. And the phone was from Fred Godelli, the Hall of Fame, the best of the best sports producer in all of sports. He called me from NBC Sports and asked me if I was interested in coming on board with Sunday Night Football. And it happened while I was in your office. We were ready to go out for lunch. So the timing of this is impeccable, and I don't think a coincidence. So it's been a great thing. But to the viewers, I say, trust yourself. Take a jump. You can always go sideways. Like I say, I didn't retire from the NFL. This is phase 2. I got so many things I want to do, and I'm never really going to retire because I love what I do, helping people to stay healthy. And when people ask me, what do? I help people move pain-free without medicine. That's my wheelhouse.
I tell people that if you want to make deep change, you've got to have a deep purpose to give you the courage to overcome the fear that's involved in making those deep changes. I remember we talked about your purpose. What is your purpose?
My purpose is to enhance the health of others.
Okay. It's that simple.
It's that simple. And I think to keep those things simple and not make it, like, you were great about that, because I do this, and you're like, no, trim it to make it really simple. And I think that's important because, man, you have clarity, you have passion, you have excitement, you have a purpose that aligns with your soul and what you're doing. Man, you're unstoppable.
And you can make complex decisions by that simple purpose in a timely fashion.
Absolutely.
I saw you today as you spoke to our conference, and as effective as you were as a trainer with some of the world's elite athletes and all of the prestige that came with that, I saw you speak to several hundred of our audience of the I1 community. And I saw you in simple but profoundly powerful ways give hope to a lot of people that they could start immediately in small ways in changing their health.
Thank you.
I had people walking out saying, it's the first time I have ever heard. I thought, okay, here we go. He's going to talk to us about how we have to change everything in our life overnight. And I hate exercise. I've never been successful. I can't lose weight. I'm about to go through another beating on shame and guilt about how I'm so bad in taking care of myself. I had people walking out saying, that was so good. One person said to me, I made a pivot. I'm going to change the way that I move, and I'm going to start using that foam roller. And another person said, I'm going to make a decision. I've made a decision that I'm going to start moving more. I mean, and I thought to myself, Mike is having more of an impact on more people today than he could have ever done in an entire season. Because it was 48, when you add the practice squad, 53, 55 people. That was it.
Absolutely.
And now through NBC, through your work in your clinic, through your speaking engagements, it's all about impact. And your impact has exploded.
Love that. Thank you for that. That means a lot to me, because we were right there at the beginning and all that. And that's really what I want to do. I mean, and that's important for me. I'm 62 years old, and I continue to compete. I do a lot of sporting events. I still do Spartan races. I've competed in the World Championships the last 3 years. So I'm not slowing down. And that term of being an athlete, it's like honey. If you store honey properly, it never goes bad. The term athlete doesn't have to expire as well. It doesn't mean, I got a family, I got a white picket fence, I got a mortgage, I got kids, I got to take that athlete title and put it aside. No. A lot of times with my clients, I tell them, I press them and I challenge them. I say, I want you at least twice a day during your day to refer to yourself as an athlete. I don't care if you're pumping gas and you say, as an athlete, I got to go home and get a workout, or these are the foods an athlete likes to eat. Whatever it is, as simple as that thing. I talk about those 4 M's, and one of them is mindset. And you start thinking about yourself as an athlete at any age, it changes you. And I think that's a good example of small changes. I'm not talking about revamping, and I think I with these kind of talks that I like to do, I love doing the corporate wellness stuff, to give people things that they can do, not shame them, not say you got to be a marathon runner, to take your way that you move better, think better, eat better, and sleep better, and apply it to your lifestyle that makes you happy. Whatever that is, that's your call, and that's what you have to do. And like I always say, if I can help people with the things that I have and the techniques that I normally reserve for elite professional athletes and share with the general public, I'm going to save them 3 things. I'm going to save them pain, I'm going to save them downtime, and I'm going to save them money.
And you're going to help them feel better and feel better about themselves.
Absolutely. And that's important, Fred, because if I can make Mary in the accounting office feel better about herself, Mary's going to be a better coworker. Mary's going to be a better mom. Mary's going to be a better sister, better neighbor, a better daughter. That ripple effect, and her kids are going to see it too. So that one person, that impact ripple effect, hits 20 people, conservatively speaking. So the impact of being well, moving better with less pain, as you can see, I get excited about this because I think it's powerful. And I want to leave a legacy of helping people to do what makes them happy. That's the important part.
What you are doing is you are showing people what success looks like. Success is knowing your personal purpose and putting yourself in a position to maximize your personal purpose and its impact to others every day. And that's what you are doing.
I love it.
You are my hero. You are the ultimate. I had one of my friends who has been a great mentor of mine. He has a mantra every year, younger next year.
Love it.
And he's helped me to really move back by 20 years. I did a test recently with a company that they tested my biological age a year and a half ago. I'm not proud to say it, but I was exactly what my age was at that. I was 65 years old. They did that same test 2 months ago, and my biological age is 48. And
bam.
And that guy and you were huge. Well, he was at the event today.
Oh, that's awesome.
He texts me afterwards and he goes, Mike Ryan, he's my new hero. And he said, he's living out his life, his purpose. That's what success is.
I couldn't say it better. And you look great, and you're moving better, all the things. You've walked the walk, and I think that's important. Because also I think you got to look at, why do people maybe not go down this road initially? A lot of it, I think, is, like I said today, they don't really know the source of their pain. They're struggling. They're having a hard time with it. And I think people are motivated by two things: pleasure or pain. Pleasure, they hang that carrot out there, something they're going to chase. They want to get ready for a marathon, or they want to look good for the summer bathing suit, or they want to be able to do a 5K with their kids, whatever that carrot is of the positive reinforcement. But then the other is the pain motivator. You can whack yourself with a stick, or you can hang a carrot to chase. I think too many people focus on those negative things and those bad things. I don't feel good or whatnot. The mindset of positive reinforcement for me, I think, is so much healthier. And look at what you want to do, not what you can't do. And I think if you start changing that, call it the paradigm, if you will. But that's why I always include the mindset of getting healthier from the neck up, not just the neck down. Because the way you think, that exercise I gave today about the eyes closed in New York City and the scary scenario, just shows you how impactful your mind is on your body. So you gotta get healthier from the neck up as well, and improve your self-talk.
Your mind can create instant, incredible stress upon your body.
Be it good or be it bad.
Yes.
I always like to use a lot of analogies. And your brain and your mind is like a big pot of fertilized soil. If you put the most beautiful flowers in there, guess what? It's going to grow. You put poison in there, it's going to grow. It doesn't care what's going to grow. So anything you put in that mind, like that pot of soil, is going to flourish and take off. You got to put positive things in. You got to put the right things in. You got to give yourself credit for when you do little things. Celebrate the success. All those things, and they create that momentum and that inertia in a good way. Compared to a lot of times in life and struggles and challenges that people have every day, it can pull you in the other direction. You got to fight that urge. You got to fight the stream and go in the right direction to make positive impact.
You've been so critical for me, Mike, to recognize you can't make I'm all about impact. But you can't make impact if you're not around.
No, not at all.
I saw a statement recently about a man who neglected his health. And he said, quite frankly, I'm making too much money to take time off to spend in a gym. And his friend said to him, it doesn't have any value to be the richest man in the graveyard.
Sure. Those hearse don't have a luggage rack. Do you notice that?
Never.
Yeah.
And so part of leadership is being available. And health gives you availability to have impact.
It has to. There was a great book by a hospice, which, as we know, is a hospital scenario, medical setting for people to die.
Yes.
And to help them make a beautiful transition to the next world. Well, I believe she was Australian, wrote this book about, she had worked with thousands of patients who had passed. She was with them in their last minutes of their life. And she wrote a book about the 5 greatest deathbed concerns or worries. And 2 of them really hit home for me. One was, these people, again, in their last minutes of their life, wish they lived the life that they wanted to, not what people thought they should do. Yeah, think of that. They wish they lived the life they wanted to, which was in their heart and their purpose, compared to what people thought they should do. Yeah. For me, that was powerful. When I heard that, it's like, yeah, you got to do it the right way, because we all have friends we've lost way too soon, and we just can't. There's never a perfect time to make this transition. I've had a lot of NFL people and people in big scenarios, positions, say, man, I want to do the same thing you did, but it's just not the right time. I'm like, time out. There's never just the right amount of money in the bank. It's just, you're not like, I think John Elway did it, where he won the Super Bowl and rode off into the sunset. Those perfect endings don't always happen. So you got to make it. You got to take that leap of faith, and you got to do things before it's too late.
Here's a gentleman who shows me that it's not about the position that you have, the status that you have, the visibility that you have, because he had it all. He has greater success now than even in those days in the NFL when you were known as one of the 2 or 3 most respected trainers in the entire NFL. You've got a coaching tree that's a mile wide, all over the NCAA, professional football, And yet you're having even greater success today because you are on purpose and having a greater impact with more people. You teach us, Mike, what true success is. And I
Thank you.
you.
And because I think a lot of it comes down to just being happy too. I mean, I'm happier because I have a better balance. I love what I'm doing. But also, selfishly, is with the Sunday night and the Thursday night football, I still get great opportunities to spend time with my friends in the league. So I get my Sunday fix with all the craziness during the week. So it's a great blend. If I was just off somewhere and not have any relationship with football, I wouldn't feel as happy as I am now. So I got a great balance of still have that Sunday fix, the football fix. I love the sport. I love watching it. It's very entertaining. But I get to do some really cool stuff and talk to great people like you in the group we had today, the public speaking, and still do a lot of racing. And
That's awesome.
and I'm doing more writing now. I got some great things coming down the pike on that. So I'm excited about the things that I'm doing are exciting. And, success can vary with everybody in different ways. But for me, I feel like I'm in line with what's important to me and my family. And
that's success.
I feel like I'm in a really, really good place. I'm very, very grateful about that.
I want to thank you for the inspiration that you've been to me, both as a colleague and a friend. I look forward to working. We've even talked about speaking together on NFL circuits next year.
That would be exciting.
If you want to send any of your friends who are contemplating those changes, you just send them to me.
You'd be the perfect person there. And also to your kudos. I mean, the help that you've applied to me and helped me with, but also, I mean, I've walked you through getting ready to do a marathon.
I did.
Triathlon, all the things that you've done. So you stepping out of the corporate world and really kind of pursuing those athletic endeavors and putting in the work, the great bike ride you did.
Yeah.
I mean, so
you were behind all of that.
You've been a great example of doing the right thing and putting the work in, not just jumping with no leap of faith. You had a plan, your methodical approach to your business and your leadership skills and to your clients. You applied it to yourself as an athlete. And the thing that's great about those is you get great success. But guess what? I know you and I are what, mid-30s, give or take?
I'm going on 40.
Okay. I don't want to push it too much, but we don't heal like we did when we were 20.
Yeah.
So our ability to do what we do and keep our risk of injury low is really important. So we want to be able to answer the bell, and staying injury-free is a key part of that. And kudos to you to walk that walk and to show that and have the great success that you've done, and you look great.
Mike Ryan, expert in the United States on wellness, sports medicine. He's the best of the best. And Mike, thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you, my friend. Appreciate it. This is great. Always fun.
Take care, you all. Thank you for joining us on the Leadership Initiative. We're seeing some incredible people who are coming and sharing their insights and wisdom. Mike shares a lot of truth today. I hope you've taken it in. Check us out on our think tanks. Go to our website, initiative1.com, to learn more about our offerings. We're here to make an impact upon you in every area of your life as well. Thank you, and have a great week.